Why are we so bored at work? And what can we do about it? Imagine this. You're staring blankly at your computer screen, willing yourself to stay alert as the hours crawl by. Sound familiar? You're not alone. A 2023 survey of 2,000 American workers conducted by research firm OnePoll found that nearly half of respondents experience boredom at least 3 days a week. Belinda, an assistant professor of management and organization at the University of Notre Dame, confirms this widespread phenomenon. People are more likely to be bored at work than in any other setting. While a little boredom is inevitable, chronic boredom can have more damaging consequences. Every employee gets bored, even if they have the most interesting jobs. But experiencing chronic boredom is damaging to well-being and productivity, Dr. Belinda warns. So, what leads to chronic boredom at work? And if leaving your job isn't an option, how can you make work more fulfilling? The roots of workplace boredom. According to Melbourne-based career and executive coach Kate Richardson, workplace boredom can stem from a variety of sources. One reason is when you're doing work that is tedious or repetitive, and you don't feel stimulated or like you're learning anything new, Richardson explains. Surprisingly, boredom isn't reserved for those with too little to do. Even a demanding job can feel tedious if it's more about managing workload than engaging in meaningful challenges. You could have a demanding job, but if it's demanding rather than challenging, then you might not find that much satisfaction in it, Richardson adds. This disconnect often arises from a mismatch between your skills and your role or a lack of alignment between your work and personal values. For example, you might feel bored if the work doesn't seem important or if it conflicts with your goals and values. Why ignoring boredom won't work? It's tempting to brush off feelings of boredom at work, but suppressing them can backfire. Dr. Belinda's research shows that ignoring boredom can amplify its effects later. What we find is that people try to power through, or essentially try to suppress those feelings of boredom. That ends up postponing the consequences of boredom and making them stronger than they otherwise would be, he explains. Since repetitive tasks are inevitable in most jobs, the key isn't to avoid them entirely but to manage them strategically. One way to do this is by balancing tedious tasks with more engaging ones throughout your day. Given a certain number of tasks you have to perform in a day, there will be a degree to which each one is boring, and each one is meaningful, Dr. Belinda notes. If you find a way to structure those such that they are counterbalancing one another, that can help prevent boredom from spilling over and reducing your productivity and attention on subsequent tasks. The art of job crafting. Boredom, much like pain, is a signal that something isn't right. If your work leaves you chronically bored, it might be time to consider a change. However, changing jobs isn't always feasible in the short term. In such cases, you can turn to job crafting, a technique for reshaping your current role to make it more engaging. What that means is that you're essentially changing aspects of your job, within your control, that will up your energy and motivation, Richardson explains. Here are 3 approaches to job crafting. Task crafting. This involves modifying the tasks you perform or the order in which you do them. For instance, a nurse who finds fulfillment in patient care might focus more on patient interactions during shifts. Relational crafting. This is about changing the nature of your interactions at work. If you enjoy working with others but find limited opportunities to connect, you could explore roles like mentoring or collaborating on team projects. Cognitive crafting. This approach involves reframing how you view your job to find deeper meaning in it. For example, a customer service representative might focus on the joy of resolving issues and making someone's day better, rather than simply addressing complaints. Exploring what's next. Even if leaving your current job isn't an immediate option, boredom can be a catalyst for growth. Richardson encourages adopting what she calls explorer mode. This mindset involves using your current dissatisfaction to identify what's missing in your work life and what you'd like more of. You want to be running towards something, not running away from something, she advises. Explorer mode might mean volunteering, pursuing side projects, or researching potential new career paths. This proactive exploration can give you clarity and motivation while preparing you for your next step. One positive thing about being bored at work is that you can identify what's actually missing and what you need more of. And that can help you think about what you need to do to move in that direction, Richardson says. In summary, boredom at work is common, but chronic boredom can be a sign that something needs to change. By understanding its root causes and actively reshaping your role, you can transform a mundane job into something more fulfilling. And if you're ready to move on, exploring new opportunities with intention can help you find a career that truly excites you. Boredom might feel uncomfortable, but it's also an opportunity to learn, grow, and reimagine your work life.